In this video, we're going to be talking about the characteristics of a disciplined person and how you can be that person. If you really like content like this, then please press the subscribe button and let's go straight into it. So number one is having accountability. Now you might think, well, self-discipline, where does accountability come into it? With any sort of habit, especially when you're building your first personal development habit or what have you, it's important to have accountability. Let me put things into perspective here. So the first big habit that I learned, which is really, really important, and I'll go into it in a second, is journaling. So I went in to do my NLP practitioner course, and one of the first things we learned was NLP journaling. Okay, now I would not have been self-disciplined, I would not have developed this as a habit had I not have had the support and the accountability of having a group of people to hold me accountable. Now, because I put money towards that, it then meant that I had no choice but to build this as a habit, because I was going to be losing money. So if I were you, I'd have someone to, especially during your first one or two habits, is to have someone accountable. Now that could be a friend, it could be a coach, it could be anyone that can really hold you accountable. It's even better when you have a way for you to just literally just put money towards it. If you can exchange money for having accountability, because there's a pain associated with accountability, with doing something. So you've got no choice but to be doing the habit whilst you're held accountable, especially when you're paying for a service. So I would highly recommend that firstly you have accountability, and it will help you so much, because at the end of the day, when you have accountability, it means that you're ingraining this as a habit. And it may be in the second or third or fourth habit, you may not necessarily need the accountability because you've already developed the groundwork and the foundations towards it. The second thing that you want to be doing is journaling. Now, why journal? Well, firstly, you might want to see the video here that I've done before, where you'll be able to get more information about how to journal and how it helps you. So when you journal, you're writing down, obviously, a lot of things that you're going through, your emotions and all the things that you want to achieve. And if you combine this with visualizing what you've journaled, it means that you're more likely to achieve that, because what you're doing is almost implanting it in your subconscious mind, which means that you're more likely to remember to do that thing. So start journaling, and that will really help you. The third way for you to be able to develop a habit through self-discipline is through consistency. And as obvious as it sounds, is you want to make sure that you're consistent in your habit every single day that you're doing it. Now, as a rule of thumb, it's not always possible to do it every single day, but what I would say to you as a rule of thumb is don't allow any more than 1 day's gap for you to do that habit. Now, why is that? When it comes to building habit, it comes in a cycle, and they say in science between 30 to 60 days for you to build a habit. Now, if you're allowing, from my research and from my own experience, if you're allowing more than 1 day's gap, it means that you're breaking the habit formation cycle, which then means you have to start again from the beginning of that habit formation cycle, from day one, to be able to build that into a habit. And when it's a habit, it's basically something that's semi-automatic that you can basically do and you don't have to think about. And so you want to make sure, I'll repeat this again, there's consistency and you're doing it every single day. And if there is any gap, it's no more than 1 day's gap, and that will really help you to develop some consistency in forming a strong habit. The fourth step I would say to you to developing a strong habit is for you to do your habit that you're trying to build first thing in the morning. Now, why would you want to do that? Often what can happen is that we often put things off till a later date or a later time, and then we never get around to doing it. So you want to make sure whatever habit that you're building, so for instance, let's say you want to do reading, you want to make sure you get your reading in first thing in the morning, so that way you're not putting it off. Last but not least, what's really important is you reward yourself. So whatever habit that you're trying to do, incorporate the reward aspect of it. So for instance, if I want to do reading, then you might want to say, well, if I read today, what's going to be my reward? It could be anything for you. It could be eating your favorite food, it could be watching your favorite program, it could be doing anything. For me, what I like to do is when I'm building a habit, I like to put a smiley face in my journal, because that just makes me feel good. When I review my day from the last 24 hours, I know exactly what it is I'm doing. So it's really down to you anyway. So there you have it. That's 5 steps to self-discipline to build habits. So I hope this video has been valuable for you. If it has, and if you enjoyed this video, then please do me a favor. Please press the subscribe button down here, and you can be informed of all the latest content of how you can transform productivity, mental health, spirituality. So until then, take care. Bye.